Hey everyone, it's your girl Lisa, back with another upload of, breaking the stigma of mental health. Today we're going to get into some things, that as me dealing with it, but also some facts as well, so that we can get that information. Okay, like this one is the reluctance of getting mental health treatment. Okay. So, and this is part of stigmatizing because when you stigmatize mental health, you don't want to get the treatment. And one of the things is reluctant to treatment because of the stigma. So, let's start with the stats. Okay. According to the Advisory Mental Health Council, 42% people are untreated for mental health. Yeah, I'm kind of looking and reading at the same time. Um, 42%. 42% people, that's a lot of people to not to be walking around untreated. Okay. Um, According to the Mental Health Foundation, nearly 9 out of 10 people with mental health illness feel stigma. Okay, that just tied right back into what I said. This is the reason why people don't want to get the help because of the stigma. And 9 out of 10 people won't get the treatment because of stigma. I don't know about y'all. That is a lot of people to be walking around here untreated. You know, hence my podcast and my uploads. You know, we gonna do this. We gonna do this. Okay. I'm going to be talking about my own personal, along with some factual stuff. So that we can all be educated. The number one thing to destigmatizing mental health is to get people uneducated on the situation educated. Because and I know, you know, when you fear something, nothing good ever comes out of it. Nothing good comes out of fear of not understanding. Okay, so we're going to get into it. We're going to get into some of the symptoms that could possibly happen if mental health is left untreated. In the words of Chris Cuomo of CNN, let's get after it. Okay. Number one, worsening of mental health issues. Okay. So let's look at that, shall we? Okay. So you got a schizophrenic running around here, untreated. And and schizophrenic, between hearing the voices and the paranoia, that is deadly. That can be deadly. Very, very deadly. You know? Having somebody walking around here untreated with schizophrenia and hearing voices and they're paranoid, they think their mama is an alien from Mars, that they're trying to kill him, so they're gonna do her first, you know. And this is what happens when it's left untreated. It gets worse. You know, people with personality disorders, without the help, it gets worse. You know, you know, depending on, depending on, depending on what type of mental illness you have. Bipolar, we get depressed, we sleep. You know, I mean, we can do some crazy things, but I really don't think anybody's died from somebody with bipolar. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to it. saying. Chronic pain. Let's get into the chronic pain. That's another one that can be affected, that can affect you without having the being medically treated for mental health. Constant pain, constant back pain, constant headaches, constant leg pain. All of a sudden you got all these aches and pains, which is actually tying into the chronic physical illness of it. You know, panic attacks. Panic attacks, it's a physical, you know, and this is why when you go to a MD and they tell you it wasn't a heart attack, it was a panic attack, then they give you a number to a therapist because it deals with mental health. It deals with your anxiety. Panic attack comes from anxiety. So something in you is causing so much anxiety that it created a panic attack. Okay? Like for me, like last I told some people this, you know, before, like not this past Monday, but last Monday, I'm doing my therapy group, and and I don't think I really ever went into detail. I might have, but it was many, many years ago. Um, of my sexual assault on active duty, and I knew I was going to tell my story in the group, and my anxiety level was up to here. You know, before I even started, I knew my anxiety level was off the chart. I could feel it. And so after the group had ended, and no, I wouldn't say about 5-10 minutes tops after it ended, I noticed I had this sharp burning pain in my right side of my chest. And I'm like, okay, what is that? Why is it happening? You know, and it got to the point where I was violently sick. So I just like pretty much turned off everything, went upstairs and laid down. And I was in bed for the rest of the day. And then it dawned on me that because of my anxiety, because of what I was talking about and how I was talking about it, my anxiety level went through the roof. And that's what caused the pain in my chest. You know, so when people say that mental illness is not a physical thing, bull, because your mind is your body. Okay? And when something affects you up here, it's going to carry throughout your body. You know? What do you think you are? A damn tree in a rock? You know? Your mind over there and your body over there. So if your mind feel it, you don't have to worry about your body because it's way over here. No, 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 no. Your mind and body is one. And what affects you here affects you here. You know? And some can say the same. What affects you here can affect you here. You know? So your mind and body is one. So whatever the thing is you going through up here can affect you here. And that's what I found out uh, a week ago. That because my anxiety level was so high that my body physically manifested the pain to the point where it just pretty much wiped me out the rest of the day. I couldn't, I was good for nothing for the rest of the day. I had to go upstairs. I laid down in my bed and I just, of course, the next day when I woke up, I felt fine, you know. But that's just an example of how when you're dealing with mental health issues, that it can affect you physically. It can. Mind and body is one. We'll get you here, get you here. We'll get you here, get you here. See how that go? Anywho, instability in daily life. Yes, definitely. If you're dealing with some kind of mental health issues, you're not going to go to work. You're not going to go to school. Okay. Example, I was going to, college for getting my, what they call here in New York State, a KSAT-T, which is a credential alcohol substance abuse counselor, you know, and I had to have 350 hours, before I can get my certificate, which I do have my certificate. I take tests, get my license. But so I knew it was a struggle. It was a struggle for me, you know. It was a big struggle because even though I was going to school at night, usually from 6:30 to 9:30, um, and sometimes I wasn't even going. You know, classes weren't every day. You know, some classes was every other day. You know, but I struggled. I struggled. I just depression got a hold of me, and I just didn't want to. But I knew I wanted it, so I had to push through. And trust me, that was no easy feat. Believe you me. When you go and hang out with your friends, you say you're going to do it, and then you don't. You know what I'm saying? Going to a party, okay, you say you're going to do it, then you don't. You know, it's that constant instability, is up and down, up and down. But that's part of mental health. If left untreated, that's what it does. It can cause that instability. You hot, you cold, you hot, cold. Maybe I'm medium. I'm in the middle. Um, it's that instability, and that's what, when you're not getting help for your mental health, that's one of the things that can happen. Incarceration. We're gonna talk about that because I'm a firm believer, and I just had a conversation with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and I always respect, his opinion on things, even though we don't necessarily agree on everything, and I think this one is one of them because I think people think that, you have mental health issues, you should get a pass. No, no. See, let me break it down for y'all so that y'all can understand where I'm coming from with this. Okay? For me, mentally ill person that does a crime, we put it out there, a murder. Okay? Say he commits murder. And it's in the house. Okay? If the cops come and old boy still got the knife or the gun over there by his side, he all bloody from head to toe, and he's sitting in the dining room eating dinner like nothing happened, maybe a sign of mental illness for me. Yeah, but that, for me, that would constitute mental health. Okay? Because then that tells me you really don't have a clue of really what you did and the scope of what you did. You know? So for me, that screams mental health issue. Now, if you have a mental health issue that's left untreated and you commit the same crime, okay? The cops come, the crime scene is cleaned up, the evidence thrown away, you done changed your whole damn look, got a passport out of the country. See, that doesn't scream mental health to me because that tells me you know right from wrong and you knew what you did was wrong. So for me, that does not constitute mental health issues. I'm not saying you don't have issues, but that's not warranted in this case because you knew right from wrong. Because if you didn't know right from wrong, you wouldn't have ran, you wouldn't have changed your look, you wouldn't have hid, you wouldn't have gotten rid of the evidence, you wouldn't have cleaned up the crime scene. You know? So for me, it's basically this. If you have mental health issues that's left untreated and you commit a crime, if you don't know right from wrong, yeah, 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 that's definitely a mental health issue. If you have mental health issues and you don't, and you do know right from wrong, no, no, no. That's not a mental. I'm not saying you don't have mental health issues, but that's not no, because you know right from wrong. You know, a person with personality disorder may do something they might not even know. You know, hell, they got personality disorder. You don't know who the hell coming out. It might be JoJo. It might be Flacco. Hey, it might be Billy Bob back there. You don't know because when you do come back to you, you're like, you don't have a clue what happened. So, okay, that's my untreated, you know. Scary scenarios, people. Scary. And this is the thing, and as I had the conversation with a friend of mine, it's like, no, I'm not going to give everybody a pass. Because every time you do a crime, the first thing you do is guilty by insanity. Not guilty by insanity. It's like you give it mental health a bad rep. Now you done gave it a bad rep. Because every Joe Blow and Flacco down the street, now every time you get caught, I'm crazy. Yeah, but you ran and you hid the drugs. So that tells me you know right from wrong. So you don't get a pass on that. And it makes it bad for other people who actually seriously do suffer from that. They make it very hard to get like a fair case, a fair shot. Because now you got everybody and their mama wrapped around the courthouse, claiming they're not guilty by reason of insanity. Meanwhile, you have no evidence you even have a mental health issue, you know? And then you got one that's like a true hardcore schizophrenic, hasn't been treated, you know? And and that's the problem that lies with that. That's the problem that I have with it. Stop using mental health as a crutch. Leave it for those people that really need it. Because that's what it was meant to protect the people that need it. Billy Bob, now you know I saw you at that party last week now. And you were kicking it up and living large. Now all of a sudden you scream mental health? Yeah, no. No. Billy Bob, you need to stop that. What would your mother say? You know what I'm saying? I'm making it, but for me, that's that's an issue for me. That is a big issue for me. You know, um, suicide, suicide. When you got mental health issues that's being untreated, suicide. Because if it's left untreated, you're suffering. You're suffering on the inside, and you have no way of getting any kind of relief because nobody suggested go to counseling. You know, let the doctors put you on some medication, and then you do your therapy so that we can get you level. And give you the tools that you can use that whenever you get into that way, you got it there to use. But the problem is with that too, it's not an I thing. When you commit suicide, it's not an I thing. It's an everybody thing. When you commit suicide, you affect everyone around you. You affect your family, your friends, your loved one, your partner, your mate, your husband, your wife, your kids. You affect everybody around you. So do I feel suicide is selfish? I absolutely do. Because you're not, you know, I mean, I do in a way because you're not thinking about nobody else. But then in the same token, you are so drowned in your own emotions that you cannot see. It's like you can't see the forest for the trees, you know. So when you're in that immersed into your own feelings, you know, you don't see everything else around you. You don't see the people that love you, that care about you, that wish you well. You don't see all that. All you can see is the hurt and the pain and the anguish that you feel from whatever it is you're going through. You do not see everything else. It's like you're in a box. Once you're in that box, you can't see past that box. You know, do I feel selfish to a degree? But then on the flip side of that, you have to look at it another way. You have to look at it because you're so immersed with what's going on inside you. You just can't see anybody else. So it's easy. I mean, it's important for us that we know the sign. And we will get into the sign my next upload. We will get into the signs of that. Because you'll see the red flags blaring in your face. And then others subtly, or you won't see none at all. It'll just happen. You know. But we need to know the signs. And like for me, like a subtle thing is like, well, it may not be so subtle, but then it can be subtle. You know, if you got somebody that's an extrovert, that's just like all out and giddy and happy and joyful and doing this and doing that and everything else, that's that person's personality. And then all of a sudden that person starts to get withdrawn, gets quiet. See, for me, that's a subtle flag. That's a subtlety flag, you know. And I say subtlety flags is because some people don't know how to take it. Some people may see it as an issue, or some people might be like, well, I just thought she was just going through something. I didn't know, you know. But did you take it to you? Now that's the thing. You didn't know, but did you take a chance to find out? Did you ask that person? See, you don't get off with the I don't know kind of pass. If you saw that change in that person and you never bothered to ask, to me, that's not a friend at all. Knowing that there could have possibly been something done to stop what that person was going to do, and you not even once bothered to say, hey, what's going on with you? You know, you've been awfully quiet and withdrawn lately. You want to go have a coffee and let's talk. What's going on? You know, those are people that care about you because they see it and they understand that there might be something going on and they want to help you. So for you to say, this person is a friend, we've been friends for 5 years, and you see that little change, and then when that question comes back to you, well, didn't you see that coming? It's like, well, she did get a little quiet. They did get a little quiet towards the end, but I just thought they were going through something. You didn't bother to ask. You call yourself a friend and you didn't bother to ask. I have an issue with that. Don't say that you my friend if you don't even know or taking the time to find out what the hell is going on with me. You know? So these, like I said, we'll get into the science probably the next upload I'll do, which I'm gonna try to do one tomorrow because I want to keep this going. You know, um, so I'll probably do one tomorrow. Well, I definitely will go live Friday as usual. Um, but at this point, I just wanted to upload and get into some things because I said I was going to upload. We're going to get into some things. We're going to get to some heavy things. We're going to talk about some things, and just try to get people to understand these are the things that can happen when you stigmatize mental health and people don't get treated because of it. These are some of the things that can happen, you know. So on that note, I wish everybody a good day. Everybody stay blessed. Everybody stay safe. And until next time.